A lot of you have been waiting for this prenatal show, and it is here. We did a lot of research. It took months upon months. And now it's really important to understand that the nutrition we get when a woman is pregnant is so important. You want to have top level nutrition to make sure your baby is fed and ready to come to this world with the signals that this world is safe. So you're starting on a prenatal. Your doc says, anyone is okay. Go to Walmart, go to Walgreens, go to Target, whatever. Hold up. Take it easy, doc. The prenatal that your doctor may be recommending actually may be problematic. So in today's episode, we're going to go over all of that. We're going to go over the product review. I'm going to give you the best in class, which ones to really watch out for, which ones, hey, I wish they shared more stuff and were more transparent and maybe we can use that. But I'm going to give you these 3 classes so you understand, hey, if my prenatal is this, I've just been using it for a month, I got to get rid of it and go to a better one. Don't worry, we got you covered. So we're going to go deep into it. But first, let's just talk about prenatals. We have to understand this because it might be that in this review, the prenatal that you wanted to find out about is not listed. Or another new one comes out and everyone's talking about how it's so great and best bang for the buck, but you want to know how to look for it. So I'm going to teach you what to look for in prenatals. Now, prenatal vitamins, they're dietary supplements. They are formulated to meet the increased nutritional needs of women during pregnancy. Like I said, we got to make sure you're eating for 2 now, right? And they're designed to support the health of you, the mom, and the baby. But the key aspects of prenatals are multiple ones. There are key components in there that we really need to consider. It's really important to understand we want to get a full balanced diet, right? Good protein, carbohydrates, fats, all the colors of the rainbow. If your diet's not locked in, this is the time to lock it in, especially if you're talking about having a kid, okay? To supplement this diet is this prenatal or prenatals. So it's we just want to look at it that way. You can't just eat a crappy diet and take a prenatal and call it a day. Folic acid is probably one of the most important nutrients in prenatals, or folate, and it's vital for preventing neural tube defects. These are serious abnormalities of the brain and the spinal cord. You got to get adequate folic acid. And this intake before conception and during early pregnancy actually significantly reduces the risk of these defects. What else is important? Iron. Iron is really important to increase the blood volume, and this is going to help in the development of the baby's blood supply. It also prevents anemia, fatigue, preterm deliveries, low birth weight, all these things. Iron's a really, really important one. Just as important as calcium. Super essential for the development of the baby's bones, of the baby's teeth. It's really important for mama and her bone density. The baby is using calcium overall for just growth. What else? Get out in the sun. You want to get some vitamin D. You may need to supplement it, and a good prenatal will have some vitamin D, but it's not going to compare to being out in the sun. Not all day. Make sure you take care of your skin. Make sure you're not getting inflamed, but making sure you're absorbing the sun, especially when you're pregnant. Vitamin D works with calcium actually, and that's going to help support the bone health as well and the development of the baby. It also supports the immune system of mom and the baby to prevent different complications. There's a complication called preeclampsia that is very much so common. A lot of women suffer from it, and it can prevent certain conditions and complications like preeclampsia, which is pretty common. What else? Omega-3 fatty acids, okay? Here's where you want to make sure you're getting enough, whether it's from fish or you're getting plant-based ones like flax, but omega-3 fatty acids are going to be really important. Omega-3s in particular, not just the EPA, but the DHA. This is crucial for the development of the baby's brain and the baby's eyes. It's also important for you, mom listening, or your partner listening, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever it is, for their brain health. So you want to support mom's brain and the baby's brain at the same time, right? And remember, having a baby is nutritionally heavy. There's a lot of nutrition it takes to grow a human, and we don't want mom getting depleted either. Iodine, another one. You can get it from good salt foods, good quality salt, making sure you're getting enough salt. But iodine is necessary for thyroid function. It's going to regulate mom's thyroid, her metabolism, supporting fetal brain development. The deficiency can actually lead to intellectual disabilities and growth with the baby. Vitamin B12, super important for the development of the baby's nervous system and for the production of red blood cells. It's really important because it works together with folic acid, and it's going to help prevent neural tube defects. I'm going to talk about folic acid and B12 in a little bit, about what to look for. Zinc, very important. It supports the normal growth and development during pregnancy overall of the baby and their immune function and yours. Magnesium, magnesium, magnesium. 70% of us, even more, are deficient in it. You want to make sure you're getting magnesium into the system, and a good prenatal will always have magnesium. Most will find that. Even the crappy ones will have magnesium. And it's going to help with muscle and nerve function, blood sugar, blood pressure regulation, making sure that mom is balanced with her blood pressure. And it's going to help build and repair tissues during pregnancy. But all of these are really the goal is supporting fetal development. For these processes to happen, it's utilizing vitamins. It's utilizing minerals, right? For these processes to happen and protect the baby, it's using all these to make sure that the baby's environment in utero is a healthy one. So that is always the goal, supporting healthy baby growth. This is very important in the first trimester. This is critical. So this is why it's really of the utmost importance. Put it on the top of the list. Get yourself a good prenatal if you're pregnant. If you just found out you're pregnant, the next question is, I got to get me a good prenatal, and many other things about life, but I got to get myself a good prenatal. It's going to prevent nutrient deficiencies, which is a big problem. A lot of children are born with nutrient deficiencies, going from brain development issues, eye development issues, immune issues, bone issues, issues with intellectual or learning disabilities. So these are all and can be connected to vitamin and mineral deficiencies. And ideally, you're going to start prenatals before conception, right? If it's a planned conception, you're already on it. You're working with a fantastic functional doctor or a functional dietitian or naturopathic doctor. You're working with someone who can work holistically with you and your partner to make sure before conception, you both are at the highest level of health as you can be. But first term, even before getting pregnant, very important. Now, during pregnancy, you want to continue the prenatals throughout. It's going to support ongoing development and mom's health overall, especially as it gets tougher and tougher. And you can continue a prenatal postpartum and during the breastfeeding phase. It's important to continue this delivery of vitamins and minerals because it's going to help your breast milk. It's going to support your own recovery and overall just milk production. So we got to think about it before, during, and after. If it's a surprise pregnancy, during and after, but making sure you have that support, that foundation. NuZest Good Green Vitality is one of my favorite green powders in the game. This is an all-in-one nutritional powerhouse, right? This is something that you're going to get 75 essential vitamins and minerals in one scoop, some probiotics in there. You got an impressive array of superfoods. But the good thing about this green powder, what really starts setting it apart, is its ability to fill in nutritional gaps in our modern day diets. A lot of you are just eating sort of sparingly, healthy, not healthy. It's okay. You're eating how you're eating, but you want to help support your diet. And in today's fast-paced world, a lot of us are on the go. We need something convenient. So for me, I use this green powder every morning. I put it in water, mix it up, I drink it, and I go out for my walk. I get my day started immediately. But this is not compromising any quality or effectiveness. I put this in my everyday routine. My energy's better, my digestion's better, my immune, I've not gotten sick once this past winter. I feel good. Now for all of us, it's about providing comprehensive support to thrive. I love the versatility of it. When you mix it with water, or you could even put it in a smoothie, it tastes good. A lot of these green powders taste like earth. They taste like dirt. You know what I'm talking about. It's a natural, pleasant taste. It's easy to consume. Good Green Vitality. It's vegan. It's gluten-free. It has no artificial additives. It's a clean, conscious choice when you want to prioritize your health. And who doesn't want to prioritize it right now? And it's sustainable. So you get 20% off of all NuZest products by using the code DRG at checkout. I want you to go to nuzest-usa.com/DRG to learn more and start your journey towards whole body wellness with Good Green Vitality. That is nuzest-usa.com/DRG. Use the code DRG for 20% off and check the show notes. I've been talking about AquaTrue for 5 years, probably around, and it's the best water filter. I recommend it to everyone. And staying hydrated is a key. One of my first ever post was about water, right? So you want to drink clean water. Not all water pitchers are created equal. The purest ones, we want rid of contaminants. And when it comes to AquaTrue, their purifiers have a 4-stage reverse osmosis purification process, and they tackle all those harmful contaminants head on. You don't have to do any plumbing. It's not under the sink. You have it right above the sink, and it's easy. And let me put you onto something. Almost half of US tap water contains polyfluorinated forever chemicals, PFAS. This is the thing we found in moisture wicking, Teflon, yoga pants. You heard that podcast. AquaTrue has certification to ensure that it's removing these, which is really, really important. Really important because our biggest exposure to PFAS is going through our water. And their range of purifiers fits everywhere in the home. You can get under the sink if you want, and they have the over the sink. And they even have a Wi-Fi connected purifier and mineral boost option. They got some cutting edge technology. Their filters are affordable, they're long lasting, and they last minimum 6 months up to 2 years. If you drink water like me, 6 months. One set of filters makes the equivalent of 4,500 bottles of water. That is less than 3 cents a bottle. So switching to AquaTrue is cost effective and you're getting quality filtration. You can taste the difference. It's crystal clear. It's the best water out there and it's convenient. So the best part about AquaTrue, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can try it risk-free. And for you, the Heal Thyself listener, you get an exclusive 20% off of any AquaTrue purifier. That's aquatrue.com and use the code DRG for 20% off today. Now, the problem with prenatal brands is that they're not all created equal. They're essential for supporting a healthy pregnancy, but there are some common problems associated with many of them. Some of them have an incomplete nutrient profile. Some prenatals may not provide all the essential nutrients needed during pregnancy. There's key nutrients like folic acid, iron, calcium, vitamin D, omega-3s that I just spoke about that are not in adequate amounts. Other problem is bioavailability. A lot of these prenatals are in forms that aren't really well absorbed in the body. For example, like iron or calcium, they may be in forms that are not really absorbed or readily absorbed. For example, like a calcium carbonate isn't really readily absorbed by the body, and it's going to lead to some deficiencies. And some of them have dosing issues. Some of them are just really, really low dose, not even at a therapeutic dose. Or they can have excessive amounts of vitamins and minerals that can even be harmful for you. So the balance is correct. Don't worry, we're talking about it on the product review. So just letting you know overall the issue in the scope of prenatals. Some of them have additives and fillers that may be problematic for some people, especially if mom is sensitive. Many prenatal vitamins contain these unnecessary additives, fillers, artificial flavors, preservatives, and some people, that's high on the list to avoid that. Now, my side, which I love talking about, is the heavy metal side, particularly because we have to think about when a mom is pregnant, this is one of the most sensitive times for a baby in their development in exposure to heavy metals, because heavy metals can cause major, major cognitive issues, many issues in the baby, but heavy metals can be leading to so many cognitive issues in the baby. One of the best ways to detox heavy metals is to get pregnant, right? And it's going right to your baby. So you got to make sure, I mean, if it's real planned conception, ideally you want to test for heavy metals and you want to do something a year before even that conception to really, really do or put the baby in the best place. If you can't, then you can't, but heavy metals, really important. There's cost and accessibility. Some of these prenatals are really expensive and not all women have easy access, especially in low-income areas, rural areas. Digestive issues. Some of these prenatals will mess up your stomach. They'll muck up your stomach. You'll have digestive issues like constipation and nausea and stomach upset. Some people I've heard have taken prenatals and they've had allergic reactions, especially if they're really high in gluten or dairy, or some of them have soy. And we just want to think about the form. Some are gummies, but they're not dosed enough in a therapeutic level. Some are liquids, but they taste terrible. And some are capsules, but some people can't follow capsules. So you really got to lean into what's best for you. Now, before we get to the product review and go over some of the best and worst, I want to talk about just B vitamins in general in the context of prenatals. Methylcobalamin is a really important prenatal that we have to talk about, or a constituent in a prenatal, B12, right? Now, methylcobalamin is a naturally occurring form of B12. It's active in the human body. Right now, you got methylcobalamin flowing through your body, and it doesn't require the enzymatic conversion. It can be used directly, boom, right in the body. And it's involved in so many processes. Methylation is a process which activates part of the DNA. It's an epigenetic process, and it's critical for DNA synthesis, DNA repair. It's really important for pregnancy. We want to think about methylcobalamin in the form of bioavailability. When B12 is in methylcobalamin form, it's more readily absorbed and retained in higher amounts in the tissues compared to cyanocobalamin. So we want to look first. Some people could take in cyanocobalamin, convert it, and then they're good. Other people, they're not necessarily efficient at converting it to the really active form. So they're not getting as much B12 as they think they are. Could be you. But B12 is really important for neurological health, especially when you're pregnant. This is the whole nervous system, the development of the fetal nervous system, the brain, the spinal cord. It's really important in the process of detoxification. It's converting homocysteine, which can actually be a potentially harmful amino acid when in really high amounts, into an amino acid called methionine, which is more readily used for many bodily functions. Methylcobalamin, though, is less stable than cyanocobalamin, which is the reason it's more expensive for the most part. And a lot of supplements, you'll see cyanocobalamin being the cheaper, more stable form. There's a lot of research behind cyanocobalamin, less behind methylcobalamin. And cyanocobalamin, this is the synthetic form of vitamin B12. It's most common, the supplements you're going to see. It's stable, it's cost effective, but it's got to be converted in the body into either methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. Okay, remember this. So if you see a prenatal that has methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin, those are the active forms. If you see that it has cyanocobalamin, it's going to need an enzymatic process to convert that into the active forms. Some people don't have a effective or efficient conversion process. So again, you might not be getting all the B12 that you need for yourself and your baby. So really important to consider, but we're going to get B12 support for our red blood cells. I mentioned for nervous system development, nervous system support, detoxification, proper just overall energy levels. We want to think about what's the form of B12 are we getting? And when it comes to this genetic mutation, that is making this conversion enzyme less efficient, it's called an MTHFR gene mutation. And that is going to affect your body's ability to convert cyanocobalamin into its active form, methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. So because of that, and there's many people who have this genetic mutation, it's going to be important that we start looking for things with methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. So talk to your healthcare provider, and they may run a test and to see if that's true for you, or you can just play it safe and go with the more active forms. Folate and folic acid are really important. They're one of the most important nutrients when it comes to pregnancy. This is B9, and understanding the differences is going to be really important, okay? If you're about to be pregnant, if you are pregnant, this is a really important part of this segment. Folate is the natural occurring form of vitamin B9. It is in foods. It exists in various forms in various foods. 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, 5-MTHF, is the active form of folate that is in the body, okay? You're going to be getting that from leafy greens, vegetables like spinach or kale, legumes, beans, lentils. It's even in oranges. It's even in whole foods. It's even in whole grains. If some of you eat liver, it's in liver. But the natural form of B9 is that folate. It's readily utilized by the body when you're consuming it from the food. It's bioavailable. It's ready to be used. It converts efficiently into its more active form, 5-MTHF or methyl tetrahydrofolate in the body. And I mentioned some of the folate-rich foods. If you're cooking them, it actually can disrupt the absorption of folate. So just keep that in mind, reducing its bioavailability. And then there's folic acid. Folic acid is the synthetic form of B9. This is found in supplements and fortified foods. You heard about fortified cereals. You see that maybe growing up, this is fortified. You never knew what it is. That's what it is. And it's a stable compound, it has longevity, but it needs to be converted into its active form. Remember, active form is 5-MTHF, methyl tetrahydrofolate, in the body. It can be found in fortified foods like cereal, breads, pasta. It's stable. It's more stable than natural folate, which makes it most suitable in supplements, which is the reason why you're going to find most prenatals are going to have folic acid. It can help in the prevention of deficiencies. There's a lot of research behind it. Folic acid fortification, it's been effective at reducing neural tube defects in many different populations. So they're getting folic acid in the body, but those people are converting it. But if you have that MTHFR gene mutation that I was just talking about, you may not be efficient at converting folic acid into folate, right? Or 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate. So again, this is all the reason before getting pregnant or even when you're pregnant to test for this gene mutation to really understand where you're at. And if you're not breaking down the folic acid and you're taking in the supplements or the fortified foods, it can actually lead to the accumulation of unmetabolized folic acid in the bloodstream. And that's a problem in and of itself. But both folic acid and folate are going to be really important for neural tube defects. It's going to prevent the baby from having nervous system issues. They're going to be able to properly develop the brain and the spinal cord. Folate is usually more expensive than folic acid. So again, if you're about to get pregnant or you are pregnant, it might be a good time to test for MTHFR mutations to see where you stand in your conversion and absorption of these B vitamins, especially if you're about to have a baby. Okay. So now you got the background. Now you know what to look for when you buy some prenatals. You're empowered. You got all the goods. Now it's time to go over the product review. So let's get ready to go into the best and worst prenatals out there. Before I get into this best and worst list, shout out to my intern, Danae, who went in on this. She called up the company. She was thorough. She is a bulldog with this. Thank you so much. Let's get into this. So what do we look for? We wanted to look for a few things. That it's USDA organic, and it's not always true of all prenatals. And is it really highly necessary? Maybe, maybe not. Like when we think about USDA organic, we think about things that are highly sprayed, right? So like if I am reviewing a greens powder that has apples and berries and kiwi and cherries, right? And all these other greens, spinach, kale, and they're concentrated into a powder, that's when USDA organic really matters. Although it really matters for prenatals too, but to a lesser extent. So USDA organic was one thing that it was fantastic if a company was USDA organic. Quality assurance is important. These certifications are telling us that, yeah, their labs are certified. They're doing good work. They're getting third-party tested, CGMP certified standards. This is the current good manufacturing practice. And that's a certification that signifies they are adhering to regulations established by the FDA. Still, not always the best thing when it comes to FDA, but these regulations are designed to ensure that the products are consistently produced in a controlled and stringent quality standard manner. So you're getting reproducible products at a high standard, or the highest standard, relatively speaking. And a certification just aims to minimize the risk associated with like these products, right? Mix-ups, contamination, recalls. CGMP is assuring us what? Safety, efficacy, quality, what else? Just all the good stuff that we want to know, we're sort of taken care of. That's a good certification. The other one, which is really popular in prenatals, is NSF. That means that it's been certified and tested by the NSF international body, and it's ensuring us that the product meets these strict standards. It's like CGMP, and they're doing rigorous testing. They're doing audits. It's free of these harmful contaminants, and it's in compliance. It's in compliance with like really high regulation standards, and it's reliable and it's safe. So really good when a company says that, and we ask them about it. And then what I really care a lot about is these heavy metals. We want to make sure we're not taking in prenatals twice a day, 3 times a day that has questionable level of heavy metals, and we're doing that for 9 months, maybe even more if you're doing it before and after. So that's really important to think about. So we got all the companies, we asked them for heavy metal tests, third-party tests, certifications, and some were happy to share. Most were not. So here are some of the brands that we reached out to. They never followed up, regardless of multiple attempts or correspondences. We did emails, we did DMs, we called, and there was nothing. So these are like ghoster companies. We ain't heard about nothing from them. And if you are taking one from here, this is one that I would actually encourage you to move away from into better class ones. Alani Nu, not a surprise. They haven't shared with anything with me for a long time. I did an energy drink with them, and it was what Alani Nu does. That's how they are. Belly, not a surprise. Is Centrum, just stay away from them. Emerald Labs, Mommy Bliss, Spring Valley, Up and Up, Vitafusion, Whole Foods 365, impossible to get in touch with. Bimiology, Equate, Innate Baby and Me, Claire Labs, which is a little surprising because they're known to be pretty high quality one, but my God, they're impossible to get in touch with. Kourtney Kardashian's company, Lemmy, I think it's Kourtney, one of the K Kardashians. I think that's all three. Major, Materna, Mega Food, which was surprising by me. I know they were bought out by who was it? Unilever? They were bought out. So maybe it sort of soiled the quality of Mega Food, but it was a very good company many years ago. Nature Made, Nature's Nutrition, Nature's Truth, Naturello, New Chapter, another one that is surprising. They're usually a pretty good company. Natural Healthy Concepts, Neuro, Ali, which is a very popular one that you're going to find everywhere. Nothing with them, so I would not consume the Ali Prenatal. One a Day, Alive, another popular one. Enfamam, surprisingly, Orthomolecular, usually a good line of products. Nothing from them. Ritual has a lot of marketing dollars. You've probably seen a landing page pop up somewhere when you clicked on a Ritual ad. Unfortunately, Ritual doesn't share anything about transparency. I cannot get behind that prenatal. Seeking Health, another, for all intents and purposes, good quality company. Couldn't get in touch with them. Smarter Vitamins, Smarty Pants, Pink Stork, PCOS Docs, and Theralogics. So if any of the prenatals you have fell under this one and you heard the name and you're like, oh shoot, don't panic, but I would move away. So if you can't afford to get a new one now, then finish the bottle. Okay. If you can, stop the bottle and get a better quality one that I'm going to talk about now. So here are the brands that have good quality assurance. We've corresponded with them. They explain much of their processing, but for some reason or not, I still couldn't get any certificates of analysis. So I don't know how good they are. Some may be good, but I can't guarantee that. And I'm not able to get behind it. Some say that they're under Proposition 65, which is amazing because it's a really strict standard, especially here in California when it comes to heavy metals. Great. But still, it's always important for me, not only the act of reading the third-party test, the COA, but it's always important for me to know that a company is willing and able to provide that. It's a energetic exchange of, I'm proud of this. I'm happy to share. I've put extra money into doing this test in order to ensure my company can show up better for the consumer. It's that statement that comes out. So, when a company, for all intents and purposes, has everything great under the sun, but doesn't have that energetic exchange, then I'm still always like, come on, man. Like, I want you guys to do better. So not that I'm beating down any of these companies. They might be great. And if you're taking this product, I'm not going to tell you to get off of it, but I will say that there's a better class after this. There's Ancient Nutrition, Bird and Bee. It's a Canadian one. They say they're more strict with standards. I don't know. I wish I got a certificate of analysis. They sound pretty good. Same with Care Of, same with Designs for Health, same with Fullwell, Hardy, Nature's Bounty, Mixers, Wild Mamas. That one looked pretty good, but I haven't got anything from them. They said it's on their website. Maybe I'm a blind man and maybe we do an addendum, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked everywhere, up and down, left and right. I couldn't find any transparent third-party testing on there, and we didn't get anything from them. Nordic Naturals, Parallel, Pregnacare, Premama, Puri Synergy, Rainbow Light, The Honest Company, Jessica Alba, you got to get back to your man. Thorn, surprising because they had a very good quality company. My Kind by Garden of Life did have a certificate of analysis, but it didn't actually reflect their claim that they're under Proposition 65 because some of the heavy metals were on the higher side. So I was very confused by that. Same with Vitamin Code. I believe they're connected by the same company. So look, I said all those things. If it falls under this, like I said, keep it, don't keep it. I would suggest that you look to getting one of these in the future, okay? So here are the best in-class prenatals. They have good manufacturing practices. They're a transparent company. They gladly provide third-party testing, and the third-party testing look good. Really happy to see my fellow colleague, Dr. Brighton's Prenatal Plus. Shout out to you. Another really good one, Dr. Green Mom's Pre and Postnatal. Another good one, EU Natural Glow Prenatal. Another good one for the people who are more animal-based is Heart and Soil Prenatal Pack. Pure Encapsulations, a company that I've trusted for many years, another good one. And We Natal, really good, cool founders. I met them before. So really happy because we got a good amount of best-in-class prenatals So now you check out their websites, look at the price point, see which one works for you. But I can get behind these products because they were transparent, they're clean, they are a company that's willing to share that exchange of like, yeah, we're proud of what we have here and we want to support you and moms. So very easy, very straightforward. As always, don't only take my word for it, right? It's not gospel. My goal is to always teach you what to look for and empower yourself so you don't have to wait for the next show next year. You can just do it now. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. And shout out to all the new moms. God bless. And yeah, if you loved this show, send it to your friends, send it to your sister who's about to get pregnant, send it to your best friend who's about to get pregnant, your coworker. It really helps support the show when we can grow this message of holding companies accountable. So rate, review, subscribe if you haven't yet. Our YouTube is growing. Even if you don't watch YouTube, just get on YouTube and help support the growth of this show. I love you all. Thank you for listening to this Knowledge Bomb segment and product review. All the love and have a beautiful week.